What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. A career-focused you. A you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy. With special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum, Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
We're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
The road to a county title runs through Hofstra, and the Wantagh Warriors feel that they have the team to do it, but Plainedge steps in their way. It's the Warriors, it's the Red Devils, it's the Section 8 Conference 4 title match on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Blaze Pizza, Bowie 4, Speed Island, Malloy University, Compass, Mad Men, 3rd and 10, Easy Auto Movers, and the Football Stick. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside the legendary Kevin Dolan, I'm John Perez. Kevin, you've been in these big-time games. This is what you train for, a chance at the title.
There's a point out here where you just can't even breathe. This is so big. And with these two teams, this war never ends. There's a lot of emotion in this game. There's a lot of great competition in this game. And I even think for Wantagh, as much as it is winning a possibility of winning a county championship tonight, they're thinking about redeeming their first meeting. Plainedge, plenty of experience in winning championships here at Hofstra, and I just think it's going to give us a great show tonight.
It's going to be a fun one. It was a fun regular season matchup between the two of them. Plainedge, the top seed. Wantagh is the 3 as they both came down to Conference 4. And when we start with this journey, let's start with the Warriors. They came in as the 3 seed, and for Wantagh, you can see their fans here and how they got here as well. 9-1 in the regular season, 3rd place in the conference. Look at that scoring disparity. They didn't really have a lot of barn burners out there. Their defense was elite.
Yeah, the defense. The first time I saw Wantagh was against Cold Spring Harbor, twice. And I could not believe the ferocity of that defense, the way the linebackers and the defensive line fit together and play tough football, and obviously all those athletes they have in secondary.
2 athletes that we will definitely talk about today for the Warriors. It's one of the best backs in the league. We'll start with Dylan Martini and Andrew Perez. And there you see the numbers and what they did in the semifinals. Coach, what do they do so well between Martini and Perez?
Well, as you see right here, we got Dylan Martini. This kid plays the game any way you want. He'll play it physical. He'll play it finesse. This young man does it all. And I don't really say this a lot because what I have been saying is such a huge class of running backs this year. In my opinion, he is the best running back in Section 8.
Yeah, a big reason why he's been a big running back. Leads the league in rushing yards, over 1,500 yards on the ground. And then you've got Andrew Perez, a good two-way player.
Oh, Andrew Perez. Nothing happens without having great linemen, and Andrew Perez is the big 3. He's big, he's fast, and he is strong. And he makes everybody else better. You've got to combination block this kid. You block him one-on-one, you're going to have a problem.
There is Martini and the 2 Martini brothers as they're getting ready to lock horns with Plainedge, the number 1 seed. Coming into this year, it was a 3-way tie. They all beat up on each other. Plainedge drops down 10-1, first place in Conference 4. They've given up 2 touchdowns per game, which obviously is not as staunch as Wantagh's defense. And, their quarterback's pretty good, too.
Oh, man, 2 touchdowns a game. I wish I was Plainedge Red Devils. They've got it all. They've got it on both sides of the ball. They do it on special teams. And I think what they do is best is they bring that old-fashioned Plainedge Red Devil physicality to the game.
It seems as if you need to be a good running back, you have to have the same first name. They've got Dylan Martini for Wantagh. Plainedge counters with Dylan Fella and Alec Anderson making the biggest catch of the season thus far. But let's start with Dylan Fella and what he brings to the table.
Dylan Fella, he's an old-school pro-eye tailback. And what I mean by that is that Dylan can be physical, but he can also turn on the jets. He runs in, for me, I'm old, he runs in the style of Eric Dickerson. But his coach aptly describes him as a caged animal. Only 155 pounds. That's what impresses me the most. He's just all heart, pure power, and an outstanding football player.
Yeah, Dylan Fella last week, 27 carries, 194 yards, and a touchdown. And, Alec Anderson's got some good
Alex Anderson, he is Superman, Hopkins-bound wide receiver. Super smart, super fast, and super tough. He's a big playmaker. Look at this. Gets something underneath on his tunnel screen. He turns everything into a big play. He accepts all the challenges. And as you see here, turns the game around. Just enough time.
Just enough time, just enough width, and just enough to get them to the county finals. A great wide receiver who plays tight end and can also get to the backfield. Okay, well, one of these teams moves on to the Long Island Championship with a win today. And let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Compass. Let us help you find the keys to your next home.
Wantagh's got to have a balanced attack. I mean, you love Dylan Martini and you want to feed him, but you've got to throw the ball a little bit as well. Don't let Jackson Torres get comfortable, and you got to stop that kid Dylan Feller. For Plainedge, you got to keep Martini contained. You can't stop Martini. He's going to hurt you. You got to keep him contained. Deal with that Wantagh front seven. Those guys are ferocious. And watch out for those huge chunk plays that Wantagh can really string together.
Wantagh, Plainedge, the Section 8 Conference 4 Final, coming to you next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
A college flag football experience at the youth level like no other. Sign up as a team or as an individual player. Boys and girls divisions available. All players receive a jersey and shorts. New York locations include Massapequa, Half Hollow Hills, Oceanside, and Center Reach. Come and join the thrill at youthflagfootball.com.
Welcome back to James M. Stewart Stadium. It is the Section 8 Conference 4 Finals on the Varsity Media Sports Network. The Wantagh Warriors come in at 8-1 on the season, and both of these teams last year were in Conference 3. They moved down to Conference 4, and Kevin Dolan making the most out of it. And we could start with the Warriors and their head coach, Keith Saxon. When we spoke to him earlier in the year, you could tell that he was very perturbed by that loss to Plainedge and wants to make up for it today.
Keith, I've known Keith for over 30 years now, and if you had, and he's a good friend, if you would ask me what do I think of Keith Sachs, one word, competitor. Competitor. He wants to win this trophy, something awful tonight, but I know this man. He wants to redeem that loss earlier in the season, and that's what drives him. And his kids feed off of it in a very positive way, and he's been blessed, obviously, to have some great athletes around him.
Did you see the way that he was hawking the ball? It looks like he's ready to play.
He's ready to play.
This guy's also ready to play, and he knows a thing or two about winning county championships. Rob Shaver in a class of his own.
I went to college with Rob Shaver at SUNY Cortland, and Rob is he called Dylan Feller a caged animal. Rob is a caged animal right now. He cannot wait for this thing to get started and get into it. He's incredible in the way he plans his practices and his teams. Nothing happens by accident with Rob. And he's also surrounded by great assistant coaches, guys like Adam Havorka, and the rest of his staff. They just do a great job.
Opening coin toss on the field, and Plainedge sending their captains out there, Jake Parpan, Dylan Fella, as well as Alec Anderson, Nick Ippolito, and John Colvin. For Wantagh, it's Ryan Canigliaro, as well as Cole Spinelli, Chris Romano, Dylan Martini, and the crew, and Tom Sheehan is our white hat, Sharif McMillan, and Andrew Perez. Rounding out as the captains are ready to go, and it's going to be a fun one. Plainedge and Wantagh, and this is a conference that was decided by inches and a literal tiebreaker. In fact, Plainedge could have been undefeated this year. They lost to Cold Spring Harbor 18-14, and it was a dropped ball in the end zone at the end of regulation. That's how close it was. And, these teams now are going to try to right that wrong and move on to the Long Island Championship. And, Kevin, it's not easy to play in these conditions. Everyone talks about this is football weather, 43 degrees, 10 miles per hour. Have fun sitting out there.
Oh, it's awful. Standing out in this stuff for 3, 4, 5 hours, it is not easy. But I will say this, for these boys, with the adrenaline rush they got going on right now, we might as well be playing in a sunny day in Miami.
Well, we'll talk about it as the game goes along, but these are two teams that really rely on their running backs. For Wantagh, it's Dylan Martini at the marquee, and for Plainedge, it's Dylan Fellas. So if you do have to run the ball, both of these teams have potent options.
Oh, and not only do they have great running backs, but they have great offensive lines. They got size up there. They're very, very well coached and well trained. And these linemen are not just your typical high school linemen. Most of these guys on both teams are members of the Wantagh or Plainedge wrestling program, lacrosse program, baseball program. These are big boys that are athletes.
In fact, both of these coaches are multi-sport coaches. Rob Shaver for the wrestling team as well as football, and for Wantagh, Keith Sachs for football and baseball. Almost showtime here at James M. Stewart Stadium. It's going to be a fun one, and can't wait to have all four of the county finals right here on the Varsity Media YouTube channel. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Blaze Pizza, for making the games free for our viewers this weekend. It is the best weekend of the year, as Plainedge will boot it away, and Wantagh has Dylan Martini back to receive with John Gendels.
I say it every week, John, that this game itself may be really nip and tuck in terms of the plays and the score. And I say it every week, who's going to start taking some chances on special teams? And if anybody's going to do it, it's Coach Sachs and Coach Shaver. They run trick plays. They take some calculated risks. Expect to see something on a special teams tonight.
Gianluca Frucci set to go, and we are underway on a short kick. Coming near side, and the ball will trickle out of bounds. A good field position for Wantagh, as Ryan Canigliaro will lead this offense out there for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's a tough, you know what? You kick like that in order to avoid the better players carrying the ball. But start giving Wantagh the ball in the 35. That's going to be rough.
Ryan Canigliaro last week didn't throw the ball too much, 4 of 5, 170 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's someone that really hasn't thrown the ball that much this year because they haven't had to, but still finding the end zone 14 times, takes care of the rock as well, only 2 interceptions. It looks like we're going to have a re-kick afterwards, and Kevin, when this has happened in a game, what's usually the explanation from the White Hat?
Well, it's a very interesting move. I mean, it's Wantagh's choice. That ball went out of bounds. So now Plainedge will be kicking back another 5 yards deeper. From Wantagh's standpoint, with all of these great athletes they have on this team, their attitude is, this is our 5th play. Let's give an extra chance for one of our real speedsters to get the ball and make something big happen. I like this decision. I kind of like the decision of Plainedge to short kick it. I really like the decision of Wantagh to make him kick it again.
And I know that you're a big proponent of field position and winning in special teams, taking chances. So we'll do it again. Gianluca Frucci comes the near side, and it will go out of bounds. And they just don't want to kick it anywhere near Dylan Martini.
Yeah, and you know what? In fairness, well, nobody wants to kick it to Dylan Martini. But there's about 3 or 4 other guys back there you don't want to kick it to. And, you know, it just makes you wonder how long this is going to go. And if I know these 2 coaches, who I say affectionately can be stubborn mules, they'll do this all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going that way, at least losing the last 10 yards, and they'll kick off from the 30-yard line. Well, for all of those out there that was waiting for the first play and starting to see some of the playmakers, a little extra special teams. There you see Keith Sachs and a little animation there.
Well, 36 years, John, and I'm getting close to saying right now I've never seen this before.
Coming near side, and Gendels makes the catch at the 35-yard line. And John Gendels, good return, pushed out just shy of midfield. And now we will finally see Ryan Canigliaro out there. Gendels, good return, the 5'10 senior for the Warriors.
And Gendel's another representation of one of those kids at Wantagh that you don't want having the ball in his hands.
Well, we were talking about Ryan Canigliaro and how Keith Sachs does want him to have the ball in his hands because he's a great game manager.
Yo, game manager, leader, playmaker, warrior.
Calls him a man that loves to run the show, gets the ball out of his hands quickly. As Wantagh starts off at their own 49-yard line, and the give on the first play from scrimmage is to Dylan Martini. Reverses course, goes right up the middle, spins off a few defenders, and has enough to move the sticks. Martini leading this Wantagh offense that is coming off a huge 55-6 victory. And this starting offense brought to you by Malloy University, Canigliaro, Martini, Gendels, Nicholson, Oliver Ikabazi, Cole Spinelli, and a lot of beef on that starting line. Joe Valentino, Sharif McMillan, Chris Romano, Anthony Calise, and Andrew Perez.
Big tackle right there by Jaden Camp. You couldn't see it in the pile, but if Jaden Camp didn't grab that jersey, Dylan was going for a distance.
New set of downs. Martini bounces off one defender, and that is stacked up. Bobby Westcott had the finishing blow. Jackson Goronski was in there. And this is a Plainedge defense that's going to rally to the football. Let's meet their defense presented by Malloy University. You just saw Bobby Westcott in there, as well as Dom Agavino, Dimitris Vardamascos. A lot of depth in this defense, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of depth. You know, what's interesting to me on that last play, because we've been talking about them all night long, running backs that make a huge difference. There was Dylan Feller right there, right away, getting his shoulder in on that tackle.
Fellow who's still not 100%, had a sore ankle going into the playoffs, but who's not 100% at this time of year. The pitch to Martini on 2nd and 9. Ranges far side off to the left, and Martini still gets some momentum and got an extra yard out of it. This should bring up 3rd and 2.
Interesting formation by Wantagh. You know, you don't see a lot of teams doing this, But Wantagh got a lot of mileage out of this formation last week, running it both to the heavy side, where all the guys are, and to the weak side.
So this will set up 3rd and short. It was a Wantagh Warrior team that just gave it to Cold Spring Harbor. 2nd victory in 3 weeks against the Seahawks. As Dylan Martini gets pushed back on 3rd and 2 and a big TFL. Jackson Goronsky led the team in tackles last week with 6, and he's got back-to-back tackles and a huge TFL on 3rd and short.
Big play by Plainedge. You know, you started to feel, look at this. Look at these guys close in and bracket the ball. They got a guy on either side of him. Dylan is so elusive, but Plainedge is not going to let him get out of the bag.
And to see if Wantagh brings their punter out. And the special teams.
This is a big area for fakes. Now, that's a lot of ground to make up to fake a punt, and this is not a great fake formation.
Matt Giacobello to boot it away. Chris Romano, the snapper. And, of course, our first punt to the game is brought to you by the football stick. Take your game to the next level with the football stick. Precision, power, and performance in every kick. As Giacobello gets it off, and a good spot down at the 6-yard line. Cole Spinelli, like a cat, pouncing right on top of that loose football. And this will bring up the Plainedge offense and their young stud quarterback, Jackson Torres. And there you see the numbers on Torres last week, 9 of 19. Threw for 115 yards and had that final 38-yard touchdown heave. A prayer was answered, and Torres leading his team to the county final in only his sophomore year.
First time I had ever seen Jackson play, and I could not believe this young man was a sophomore. Absolute sophomore. You know, and I knew that he was the younger brother of Dante Torres, who's now playing at Harvard and state champion at St. Anthony's, and you could just tell that the genetics are right there. What a strong arm. What a leader.
Threw for over 1,700 yards this year, 23 TDs, and 2 interceptions. The first give of the game is to Dylan Fella, and nowhere to go as he gets bottled up. It was a Plainedge offense that scored 33 points last week in the semifinal, and of course when they beat Wantagh, beating them by the same score, 33-27. Plainedge starting offense brought to you by Malloy University, and they're going to rely on their offensive line of Nick Ippolito, Jaden Camp, Heffernan, Colvin, and Westcott.
That is one tough offensive line. I've seen a lot of big offensive lines in the last couple of weeks. These kids are real operators here over at Plainedge.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Jake Parpan goes in motion. 4 minutes gone by opening half. Quick hitter, far side, and it's caught by Tyler Gribben on the far side. And they'll say the pass was incomplete, could not exactly haul it in. And it'll be 3rd and 10, and here's a Wantagh Warrior defense that only gave up 6 points a week ago. In fact, over their last 3 weeks, have only allowed 18 points.
Great job by, by Oliver Ikabazi, getting out there on the edge and covering that ball. He has had a great playoff experience.
And starting defense brought to you by Malloy University. 3rd and 10 for Jackson Torres. Alec Anderson in the slot, Fella in the backfield. You've got Parpan and Taylor Nitch towards the bottom of your screen. Fella goes in motion and a timeout. It looked as if Torres was a little confused what the play would be. There was a last-second motion there, and you don't want to burn a timeout this early in the ballgame.
But, you know, I really appreciate, and I'm impressed by what Jackson's doing here, because Jackson is showing maturity. You're pressed down here on your own 6-yard line. It's early in the game. You don't want to be chasing Wantagh in terms of the score. And without any drama, just nice and easily calls a timeout. I think it was a great move by the young man.
These are two teams that have been here before, and the Red Devils, better memories than the Warriors, but Keith Sachs looking to change that and trying to make this a closer game than the last 2 appearances.
And I think that'll be no doubt tonight, John. No doubt tonight. I can't predict a winner on this one, but it will be a barn burner.
We put out on social media the poll, and I think the Warriors boosters really packed the ballot box. 70% are projecting the Warriors tonight, but play the game on the field and not on Instagram. 3rd and 10. Torres, empty backfield, steps up and then heaves it. Tyler Gribben makes his first catch of the ball game and picks up 6, but he'll be short of the first down.
Very smart pass and smart pass completion by Jackson. You know, you take what God gives you. Wantagh got caught. They got caught up in that rotation, as you see here. Well, you just missed it. And throw it to the open guy. And then let's see what they make Wantagh have to make those tough tackles. But you know what? Guys like Tommy Wonderlick have been making tough tackles all year.
So Wonderlick gets the tackle. And Jackson Torres, who also serves as the punter, receives a snap from Bobby Westcott. End over end kick. And Joe Nicholson back to field it. And Plainedge swarms all over him. Big hit at midfield. Maybe got 1 or 2 yards on the return, but a 37-yard punt for Jackson Torres. And Wantagh takes over.
Very, 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 very scary reception right there on that punt return, but Nicholson, he did a great job.
That's for Blaze Pizza. From now until the end of December, Blaze Pizza is offering the family meal, which feeds up to 5. Pick any 3 pizzas, 11-inch dough or thick crust, any 2 sides, any dessert, salad, cheesy, or cinnamon bread for an incredible $35 now through the end of December. First down at 10 from the 48. Martini lined up at the bottom of the screen, and the pitch goes to John Gendels. And Johnny Football with his first carry, and he sees a hole. Up the sideline, John Gendels opens it up. What a run for Gendels. A 48-yard rip, and the Warriors strike first.
What a play, John, and what a way to open up the early scoring in this game. But again, you know, I talked about this earlier, the chunk plays of Wantagh. Watch Sharif McMillan get out there. Not an easy thing to do for a big lineman. Gets his hands on that D-back without holding, and there he goes. Johnny Gendels. They got a lot of weapons.
Gendels last week, 7 carries for 43 yards. Has more than 500 yards on the ground this year. And now for the extra point is Giacobello. Snap from Romano. Martini the hold. And the kick right down Broadway. 7-0 the lead for Wantagh, and John Gendels using his speed. And just like that, that is our Speed Island speedy play of the game. Contact Onyx Salva and the gang to improve your speed today. Located in Garden City. Book a session at speedislandny.com. Let's take another look as Gendel takes it to the house.
Great job. And watch how he spent. Now, there's McMillan, and there we got, oh, man alive. We've got, Chris Romano out there. Andy Perez, they get their hands on here. And, of course, I mentioned earlier, Sharif McMillan. You know, I hope you appreciate it, folks. These kids, these linemen, they're bigger boys. These are all guys in that 215 to 255 range, running out in the open field, making good contacts without holding. It's not easy. And that was an example by the Wantagh offensive line of some great blocking.
So John Gendels opens it up against a Wantagh team that is looking for their last county title since 2016. Giacobello, squib kick, and the return coming from Dimitris Vardamascos. A 10-yard return, and the Plainedge offense sets up shop at the 45-yard line. So a 3-and-out for Plainedge, first time through the order, and Wantagh did a good job of rallying to the ball carrier.
Yeah, you know, a lot of, believe it or not, it's a lot of, that play notwithstanding, a lot of really good defense that we've been watching also this week. Plainedge doing a really great job of keeping these running backs corralled, and Wantagh doing a great job of getting penetration inside the line of scrimmage.
On that first play from scrimmage, Vardamascos gobbled up. Picks up about 3 yards. Dimitris Vardamascos, 6'1 junior, 175 pounds. Last week averaged 5 yards per carry. And Rob Shaver says he plays as hard as any player that's ever come through the program. Has high remarks for Vardamascos and is happy to have him for not just this year, but perhaps a title defense next year.
Andrew, also known as Ray Romano, great job of sticking that big claw out. and slowing Dillon down.
There's Dylan Fella up the middle, and Fella gets tossed across the line of scrimmage. Big hit by Chris Romano, and Fella moves the chains. Let's take another look. Dylan Fella was battling with an ankle injury to begin the playoffs, but has really picked it up over the last few weeks.
Excellent push, and there's Romano again. Just gotta rip him back the other way.
Rob Shaver says Dylan Fella is the caged animal that wants to play. Direct snap, near side. Jackson Goronski lumbers right back to the line.
The ball carrier on the direct snap, Jackson Goronski.
Going to be really keeping an eye on Bobby Westcott tonight. There's a great matchup. You know, they're moving. Wantagh's moving a lot of guys around. Bobby Westcott starting right tackle for Plainedge. Big boy, 5'11", 285. He's a really strong kid. Fabulous blocker.
Rob Shaver says he should be a finalist for the Martone Award. Here's Dimitris Vardamascos on 2nd and 10 and gets about halfway home. Tackled just in front of the 40-yard line.
And there's that motor, Sharif McMillan again, coming down the line, making hard tackles.
McMillan, a beast last week. 8 tackles, was credited for half a sack, and 1 forced fumble against Cold Spring Harbor. Keith Sachs says that that's the best the team has defended so far this season in their 55-6 win over Cold Spring Harbor, the defending county runners-up. Passing play, 3rd down, and it's caught near side as Plainedge will have the first down, and that's Taylor Nitch with his first grab of the night.
I think that's one of the things, as you see here, this is what Plainedge is going to need to do tonight. They're going to need to mix it up. And you got to get past that front 8-man front and try to open up the ball a little bit. Those underneath passes really help to set up the deep balls.
Dylan Fella gets the carry on 1st down, shakes a few defenders, has a 1st down inside the red zone and pummeled at the 16-yard line. 17-yard pickup for Dylan Fella.
Now that was a next-level cut. What a beautiful cut inside to the right by Dylan Fella. Great blocking by Nick Ippolito and John Colvin.
Two receivers near side, Jake Parpan in the slot. Direct snap, Fella, back-to-back carries. And continues to go. Dylan Fella, everybody get on the D train as Fella picked up an extra 6 yards after contact.
And that's a frustrating play for Wantagh right there because they had you'll see this, they had everything going on this play. They had it bracketed, they had guys behind the line of scrimmage, but Dylan Fella and his lead back, and I believe that was Taylor Nitch, really did a great job of leading that play around. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Jackson Torres, quarterback second block. You don't see a lot of those.
Handoff up the middle. Dimitri Vardamascos is in for the score. And Plainedge answers back as Vardamascos finds the end zone. It's 7-6.
Beautiful play, big time. This is power football. You know, right up the middle. Got a man on a man up on front of that offensive line. Beautiful play and a capper of a great drive.
Just what the doctor ordered for Plainedge after conceding the first score of the night. Gianluca Frucci on for the extra point. Westcott, Frucci, money. We're tied at 7. Well, that was a fast fire touchdown brought to you by Blaze Pizza. Join Blaze Rewards to get access to exclusive rewards and earn flames for free pizza, cheesy bread, and more. Join now at blazepizza.com or download the Blaze Pizza app in the App Store. We're tied at 7. 2:23 to go in the first half. You're watching the Section 8 Conference 4 final.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Rain starting to come down here, Coach, and these teams are bundled up, and I think we're going to see just more and more rain as the night goes along. You were giving us a little meteorology fact. We saw 70% of chance of precipitation, but that just means 70% of the land is going to get rain.
John, a lot of people don't understand this. It doesn't mean that it's 70% chance of rain. It's going to rain, my friend, but only on 70% of the region. So let's hope that we're in that 30%, maybe stay a little bit drier tonight.
Well, it's 100% raining on the field, 0% rain here in the press box.
And in all fairness, I'm not quite sure if that's true. Another coach told me that, but it sounds pretty good.
Sometimes I think you coaches make things up.
Oh, we make a lot of stuff up. It's called job security.
7-7 the score. 63 total yards for Wantagh. Plainedge, 64 total yards. 3 minutes to play, first quarter. Gianluca Frucci chips it. Near side to John Gendels. Makes a nice catch on the long hop. And Gendels, head of steam. He scored the first touchdown before. Has one man to beat. John Gendels stiff-arming Alec Anderson and pushed out. And what a return by John Gendels. And Wantagh sitting pretty. And a great play on special teams for the Warriors.
Who could be having a bigger first quarter than John Gendels right now? And, you know, he has what all those great runners have. He takes his time. He's not sprinting this speed the whole way. He takes his time. He sees how things open up, and then he drops it down into gear.
Affectionately nicknamed Johnny Football. He's the youngest of 6 in the Gendels household, so he's used to roughing it up with some older competition.
He's probably running for his life in that house. Yeah.
I'd imagine so. Well, 1st and 10 from the 11. Ryan Canigliaro back out there under center. And the give. They feed the big man. John Gendels powering forward and picks up about 3.
You
know, John Gendels, when we spoke to him earlier in the week, he said that winning the Super Bowl in WFC, which of course is Pee Wee football or Pop Warner, was his best football memory. I think if he continues to show out and it's a Wantagh victory tonight, he might have a new memory.
Well, you know, you alluded to growing up in a big house with lots of siblings. 3 of his sisters are 3 sport athletes. Incredible amount. I love seeing, whether it's the Torres family or the Gendel family, how many of these families where sports and extracurriculars are a big deal.
I think the MVP are the parents for scheduling those practices. Short dunk, end zone touchdown. Cole Spinelli hauls it in on a beautiful feed from Ryan Canigliaro, and the Warriors answer right back.
That was a really, really timely call by Coach Sachs. You know, they've been pounding away on the ground and having success. Great little play action pass. Beautiful job. Well, here's the big points. You know, I'm always harping on the gosh darn special teams. There is no wiggle room when it comes to these extra points. We saw that last week.
In fact, special teams is a big reason why Plainedge is here tonight, due to some missed extra points and a Hail Mary in there as well. Romano Martini handles the snap, and Giacobello puts it through. 14-7 the lead for Wantagh. 1:57 to go, first quarter. Wantagh and Plainedge on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
Artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Kevin Dolan, it might only be Conference 4, but it's looking like a heavyweight bout and two of the best teams on Long Island throwing haymakers.
You know, I'm not ashamed to say that for years, sometimes we as coaches who are not in Conference 4 have had a thing about Conference 4 where it's lesser football. This year, and the thing with Conference 4 is there's often like one really good team and then everybody else. This year, I've never seen parity like this before in Conference 4. Just a lot of really good football teams showcasing a lot of great players.
No, you're right, especially the top three, all virtue of the tiebreaker. Top three teams, Plainedge at 7-1, Cold Spring Harbor 7-1, and the Warriors as well. In fact, it was Plainedge beating Wantagh, but then Cold Spring Harbor beating Plainedge, but then Wantagh beats Cold Spring Harbor. So three top teams just all going at each other. And now Jackson Torres in the offense back out there for the Red Devils, trailing by a score again, 1:51 to go in the opening quarter. Torres under center, the give. And Dylan Fella denied. Goes right into Tommy Wunderlich, who had a big tackle in the backfield. And Wunderlich making his presence felt. A couple of tackles in the first quarter.
Tommy Wunderlich.
Well, here's the thing about Wunderlich. He not only has the hit stick, he hits with the stick. Here's a grand slam against Jackson Torres last year. In a regular season bout, Wantagh would fall in the county semifinal, but don't think Tommy Wunderlich has been in the thorns, or at least in the sides of Plainedge last year.
It is high. It is far. It is gone. Whoa. And what a tackle by Wunderlich. Another big lineman that plays a lot of different sports. He's not a lineman. He's an athlete.
That grand slam off of Jackson Torres, who delivers a strike to Tyler Gribben. Be short of the first down, but a more manageable third and about 4.
Really nice tackle by Carter Laughlin out there. Not an easy thing to do out there on the opening edge. You folks watching the game, you get used to, you take it for granted that people make these tackles. Open field tackling. Hardest thing to do in football. And you have some great athletes that just can't, they're just not good at it. They don't know how to do it.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. We don't have the game clock on the scoreboard, but I'd have to imagine that Plainedge has to at least get one more playoff before the quarter. Empty backfield, Torres spins it, and he's got a man in Jake Parpan, and Parpan has a first down at midfield. So Torres with back-to-back completions as Plainedge and Wantagh are dueling it out here at James M. Stewart Stadium. It's been a fun one. One quarter in the books. The Warriors lead it 14-7 over Plainedge, thanks in part to Ryan Canigliaro finding Cole Spinelli, a couple of baseball guys. Hooking up, touchdown, home run. Whatever floats your boat. But the Warriors lead it 14-7. They did it when they were younger in the Wantagh Youth Football Program and are now doing it in the county final. Second quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
How's it going? Israel Bonikunda, running back for the New York Jets, and you're watching Varsity Media.
What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. A career-focused you. A you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy with special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum. Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
Start of the second quarter, teams reverse field. We're at midfield. And the give on first down is Dimitris Vardamascos. He is responsible for the lone Plainedge score, an 18-yard jaunt to tie it up at 7. But then Canigliaro hooking up with Cole Spinelli and Wantaugh's in front. And so, your impressions of the first quarter, Coach Dolan?
Oh, it's great. This is exactly what we were hoping for. It's great work on defense, big plays on offense, a lot of interesting stuff on special teams. This is worth the price of the ticket.
There's that fella, Dylan, up the middle. And Dylan Fella gets about halfway home. We'll set up 3rd and 2.
Quick thought about Dimitri Vardamakos. With all of these players on this Plainedge team, sometimes I think this kid falls under the radar, and he has just shown himself to be an outstanding athlete, makes a lot of big plays, does a lot of the stuff that's the quiet stuff behind the scenes that you count on as a coach.
3rd down and 3, man in motion, but they give us to Fella. Goes right into the pile, pushing forward. Joe Nicholson jumping on top of the pile just to try and stop the momentum. Dylan Fella very bottom heavy and not easy to bring down, but should be short. And it'll be 4th and short. So with the rain coming down, Coach Dolan, but 4th and short and good field position, looks like Rob Shaver is going to go for it.
I think so, and I think this is a good move, and I expect that we're going to see Vardamakos carry this ball. I think they're going to they got a full house backfield. I think they're going to roll the dice a little bit and give it to somebody that's unexpected, an under-the-radar guy.
Direct snap. Oh, no under-the-radar guy. In fact, Wantagh was all over it. Big Sharif McMillan with the tackle on Vardamakos.
Well, you bet. I was right about giving it to Vardamakos, but the radar was on. Whoa. Look at this body tackle. You get a stretch, and there is McMillan, and who is that? That's Tommy Wonderlick, and they're not having it. Still not a bad move.
Long Island's Malloy University offers more than 50 undergraduate degree programs and is home to one of the premier NCAA Division II athletic programs in the East Coast Conference. Malloy recently introduced sprint football to their athletic offerings, a full-contact varsity sport with the same rules as regular college football, except players must meet a weight at 178 pounds. Visit malloy.edu to learn more. On 1st down, here's John Gendels, and John Gendels, boy, he's so spry. Interesting story on John Gendels as we take a look at his numbers earlier in the game. Coach Sachs says that John Gendels' biggest issue is that he knows where everyone else is supposed to be, and that might preoccupy him. But it's like having another coach on the field, says he's got the best football mind of anybody, and he's got the best stats tonight.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure John can be one of those guys as a coach that can drive you crazy, because as we're making mistakes in practice as coaches, John chimes in and says, nah, Coach, I think you got that wrong. And
you know what? You're not wrong if you give it to Dylan Martini on the direct snap. Martini has a seam. Couple men to beat. Got a block. Touchdown.
Wow.
Dylan Martini from 47 yards out. Gives the Warriors a little breathing room.
Wow, what a play. And what a timely play. I was going to say earlier, look at this. I'd love to see who made this block at the end. Great block by Gendels up front. And there's Martini. And who do we have here? We have number 28. That's Oliver Ikabazi. Great job. And a difficult block for Ikabazi because that's the area you don't want to push anybody in the back right before you get in the end zone.
Great start for Wantagh. Matt Giacobello on for the extra point. Romano, Martini, Giacobello, bullseye. 21-7 the lead for Wantagh as Dylan Martini finds his way to the house. And, of course, Compass can help you find your next house. Our mission is helping everybody find their place in the world. Contact Ed D'Ambrosio at 516-225-7253. And how about this? Dylan Martini found a house in the end zone. You can find a house in Wantagh at 2364 Bayview Avenue. Contact Michael Matriciano at 516-282-4277. He is the listing agent. I'll put in a bid for that house.
I got to tell you, as beautiful, and that house is beautiful as it is, with the way I drip and drop things, I can't live in a white house. There would be spots on everything.
I'm sure the people know a good interior designer. I'm sure you know a few interior designers as well from your day.
I'm sure. I am sure.
Look at the rushing leaders. Dylan Martini, he's going to, if this keeps going and he has these big games, could be close to 2,000 rushing yards in a season.
Going back, though, to this game and winning this game, this is what I had said earlier in the keys to win the game. Plainedge is in a tough spot right now. Wantagh is not the type of team that you want to be chasing on the scoreboard. And if Wantagh opens this up by one more score, It could be a windy night in Chicago.
Good return. Sets it up at the 35-yard line. This is the first of 2 games tonight, and the next one should be just as fun. The Mepham Pirates looking for their first ever county title, taking on the undefeated, top-seeded Cary Seahawks. It is the Section 8 Varsity Football Conference 2 Championship presented by Blaze Pizza. Kickoff at 7:30 p.m. with coverage beginning at 7:20.
That is going to be some game. Some game, very, very physical game.
Cary had a scare against Long Beach, but still shut him out. 15-0 the victory. Mepham all over Glen Cove, 34-6. And now Jackson Torres, with his team trailing by 2 scores, and this Plainedge offense has to find a way to scratch and claw their way back. And the direct give off to Alec Anderson. Anderson with a burst of speed, pushes forward, should have enough for a first down, and then gets pushed down after a few extra contacts. Alec Anderson was the hero last week, of course, making the catch, and what they will call the catch for a long time in Plainedge football history.
Oh, Coach Perez, I thought we were going to lose you on that call. You almost fell out of the box. That was an incredible play. And you know what? I mean, these things have happened before, but every time you see it, it's like the first time.
I love great football.
Oh.
So, yes, I get it.
You were spot on that way.
1st and 10, direct snap. Jake Parpan had the option, now pitches it. Dylan Fella, nowhere to go. Wantagh was all over it. And once again, John Gendels in the backfield. Boy, Gendels can get it done on offense. He's getting it done on defense.
He's an athlete. You know, there's a lot of athletes out here. He's one of them. And right now, the kid's on fire. And he's dangerous right now because he's just having fun playing football. You know, Plainedge, we talked about this in the Manhasset Floral Park game last week. Plainedge just ran an option football play, and it's not easy to do when you're not an option football team. But you know what? Right now, I don't blame them. They're searching for something.
Torres searching for a receiver. Heaves it far side, has a man, and that's Tyler Gribben with his second catch of the evening.
Now that was a big boy quarterback play. Really great job of Jackson Torres, 10th grader, stepping up into the pocket, resetting his feet, and he throws, what is this, a 20-yard strike?
Yeah, 17, but you're right, we'll round up.
Yep, 17-yard strike right over there. Just a beautiful, beautiful play, and a nice job by Tyler to stay open and keep the play alive.
Gribben's a guy that didn't play that much in the beginning of the year, improved his blocking, and that's a big reason why he was on the field, and Rob Shaver said, let's throw them the football, and he's rewarded them, and that's paid off in dividends. Direct snap, Dylan Fella on the Wildcat, and Fella pushes forward, still on his feet. Boy, he's so hard to bring down. It's going to take 5 Warriors to knock him to the ground before they finally do.
And it's no wonder that he's come into some of these games with sore ankle and a sore this and a sore that. The kid plays very, very physically. You know, he reminds me of a linebacker playing running back.
It was interesting that you nicknamed him Eric Dickerson, and I'm trying to think of a more recent comparison. Now, he doesn't have the build of a Derrick Henry, but he is bottom heavy, and he can kind of soften up a defense that doesn't want to tackle him late in games.
Yes, and I think much like Derrick Henry, much like Eric Dickerson, if you give him that crack, he turns on the speed very, very quickly. He can hurt you with a huge chunk play.
Well, Torres stopped at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle coming.
Talking about
Tommy Wonderlick.
Yeah, talk about guys that can really hurt you on a play, and that's a Tommy Wonderlick. You know, Gendels is having a huge night. Wonderlick's name has been coming up over and over and over again. You know, he's another one of those guys. He's a great baseball player. We saw that earlier. And just a great kid. His teammates call him T-Dubs.
Were you K-Dubs?
I was Kid Shamrock.
All right, well, here's Torres. The kid's looking to throw it. Has some time. Now pocket collapses on the run. Heaves it down the field. And almost caught in and out of the hands of Dylan Fella. Good coverage on the other side by Oliver Ikabazi to bat it away.
Oh, this Torres kid is fun to watch. And look what he's doing to the D-backs here. He's playing games with them with his hands. He's not quite sure what's going on. I think he's just messing with their heads. Absolutely love it. Yeah, a lot of contact down there. Really, the line did a great job. Torres, you have quarterbacks like Jackson who are able to extend plays. You're only extending plays when you're working with linemen that don't give up and linemen that stay with it. And one of those guys, especially on that play, was Joe Altamora.
Yeah, Altamora, an unsung hero, says Rob Shaver. Empty backfield, hard count, offside. Sharif McMillan jumped, and this should give Plainedge an extra 5 yards. Cut that distance in half. It'll be 4th and 4.
It doesn't seem like much, a 5-yard penalty, but 4th and 4 versus 4th and 9. 4th and 4 is a much more manageable situation, and it opens up the playbook for Plainedge. Coach Shaver can right now call basically anything he wants.
Wantagh's done a good job of defending the run thus far. But an empty backfield for Torres. Up top is Alec Anderson, and moving down Tyler Gribben. Dylan Phillip in motion. Taylor Nitch, bottom of the screen. Torres looks near side, fires a strike. It's picked off. Carter Loftman off the ground makes the INT. The U-Albany lacrosse commit with a pick.
Boy, great things are just falling right into their hands. Excellent protection, again, from the Plainedge line. But what a play. What a play of getting in there. And that future Greyhound is just going to do a great, great job. And he is another guy that's having a lot of fun tonight.
Let me stop you there. It is a Great Dane.
Great
and
Dane.
Dylan Martini, two great players.
Great players, great Danes. Let's get those hounds out of there.
So they'll be playing lacrosse at the next level. And so Wantagh takes over. You were mentioning the Plainedge offensive line. Wantagh's offensive line has been pretty good as well, especially with this running game, as Dylan Martini on first down, chugging ahead. And Martini has enough to move the sticks, as he's been behind this offensive line tonight.
Very timely comment.
And, of course, our offensive line is brought to you by Easy Movers. Moving the football ain't easy. Moving your car is with Easy Auto Movers. Visit EasyAutoMovers.com for a free quote today.
Very timely comment, because we just watched Valentino, McMillan, and Romano displace the Plainedge defensive line about 4 yards down the field. That was blocking with a purpose.
2nd and 1. Canigliaro steps back, throws it up, has a man. Nicholson makes the catch. First down, Wantagh.
Another great call by Coach Sachs. You got 2nd and 1. Take a chance. Your playbook is wide open. Take a shot at that. And I have a feeling what Coach Sachs is setting up is later on we're going to see a hitch and go. He's going to run that nice short pattern. Quarterback will pump fake it, and they're going to head downfield. This is a really huge series for Plainedge. They need this stop badly.
Dylan Martini, direct snap. Nowhere to go. Brought back, but a flag comes out afterwards. Tackle in the backfield by Johnny Sinar. And Sinar, a sophomore with the TFL, but we'll see where the ball's spotted. It looks like it's going to go against the Warriors. Tom Shee in the white hat, calling the hold. There's the stats on Dylan Martini so far, averaging 10.2 yards per carry. And a tutty in there as well.
Holds are really tough calls, John. It's a 10-yard penalty. That's a big number. It's from the spot of the foul or the line of scrimmage. And holding can really put you in a hole.
Well, Plainedge will take it. Martini, his first pass. Look at this. Trick play down the field. Nicholson can't make the catch. Good coverage down the field to bat it away. Dom Agavino, the sophomore, bats it away.
Great play by Agavino. You know, Wantagh is usually counting on somebody getting lost, but a great job by Agavino on that.
You know, he is the son of a coach as well.
I do. Dan Agavino, great officer of the Coaches Association for the last, 200 or 300 years. Lacrosse player since the 9th grade. 91 average, 9 years playing football. He's just a great kid. And his father has done unbelievable things for Nassau County football. Very unselfish.
2 gentlemen, and he has to be proud of his scholar son. 2nd and 20, long way to go for Wantagh. Here's Gendels, Mr. Reliable. Gendels gets back to the original line of scrimmage, then springs free for about a 16-yard pickup. Oh, boy, that's a backbreaker if you're Plainedge. He's not able to wrap him up.
Yeah, he just turned that entire situation around. Like he's making this 2-down territory. Boy, oh boy. Joe Gendels. Talk about screwing up a scouting report for somebody.
Well, can't you just do what you were intending to do to Martini to the Gendels?
Oh, you can. But you know what? Just trying to get any kids, on the bus on time is a trick. You know, making that kind of a change in the game can be difficult.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them as well. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the winter, but spots are limited. Contact us today for basketball, ice hockey, wrestling, and swimming by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
3:55 to go here at James M. Short Stadium. It's the Nassau Conference 4 football final. Winner will play Bayport Blue Point next week in the LIC. Canigliaro back to pass. Ryan heaves it down the field. He's got a man in Oliver Ikabazi. Makes the catch and waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown. 48-yard strike, and Wantagh's opening it up.
I mean, what do you say to this? My goodness gracious. This I didn't anticipate. What a beautiful pass. And not only was it a beautiful pass, but the way Oliver got himself and fought for that ball, absolutely incredible. Coverage is good. Coverage is good. They got everybody held down. Fights for that ball. Great play.
What a run it's been for Oliver Ikabazi. Starting from the Cold Spring Harbor game, had the pick 6 that put the game on ice. Last week, balled out in the semifinals, had a couple of catches for 46 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 5 tackles. Giacobello, and that is off to the left. But 27-7 the lead for Plainedge as Oliver Ikabazi, you can see the replay there, just missing. Rain starting to come down here, and there is Ikabazi. Some nights he wears 28, some 29. Twin brother Tucker on the team as well, and a good golfer.
A lot of golfers out there. It's great to see. What a wonderful sport. You know, and I'm telling you, like Ikabazi, I'm looking at my roster right now of kids that we've gotten really excited about tonight. Laughlin, Spinelli, Canigliaro, Gendels, Martini, Ikabazi, Wunderlich, McMillan, Romano, Valentino. It just doesn't end. And that's why we're looking at 27. This is 27-7. It really is a team effort tonight. That all being said, Plainedge is not playing bad football.
Right. No, 100%. Well, one of our sponsors is 3rd and 10. Try out for 3rd and 10, Long Island's premier 7-on-7 national travel team. Register today and be a part of a storied list of alumni representing Long Island's most skilled football players. Matthew Giacobello with a long boot. Plainedge. And that's caught on the other side by Agavino, and Wantagh starting to play some bully ball out there. Sharif McMillan in there with the younger Martini, Luke Martini, only a freshman.
Boy, credit to Dominic Agavino for getting up after that collision. I mean, great play with the ball rolling around on the ground. I mean, that was critical right there. And Sharif McMillan, what a crushing blow.
McMillan, an all-county selection last year, another county selection this year. Keith Sachs says he's the unsung hero. I don't know if that's true. Everybody knows about Sharif McMillan. But either way, whatever you need to get your players to play a little bit harder, say it.
I never heard of the kid before until we did the game together at Cold Spring Harbor, and I just find this kid on every single play.
Play action. Torres throws it, and a nice sliding catch by Dimitris Vardamascos, who's had himself a good game so far, his second catch of the game.
That really was a talented catch. I mean, and you know what I like a lot about the catch is that Dimitris knows his team needs something big right now. And they need a hero. They need somebody to step up, and that's a kid stepping up.
3:20 and rolling. Both teams with a pair of timeouts, and number 2 Jackson Torres will go empty in the backfield. Torres, quick hitter, Alec Anderson, behind the line of scrimmage, curls in front of it, and then is gang tackled as Wantagh rallies over to the football. John Gendel's the first man in, with Andrew Perez making the finishing blow. Perez 4 tackles last week for the Warriors.
That's a little bit different, that play. You know, we've been talking about tunnel screens and things like that. That's called a zero pass. You just throw the ball out to a receiver. The other receivers block if they're out there and just see what he can get. You don't bring any linemen out there or anything like that. Very, very nice play.
Anderson, 5 catches, 77 yards in the semifinal, and of course the big TD to send him to this final. As Torres, straight keeper, it'll be 3rd and short.
Listening up here in the booth, John, and on the sidelines, you know, the narrative out there on the street is the Wantagh secondary good enough to handle a big onslaught from a strong passing team? They just don't know. And I think Plainedge is trying to get the answer to that question right now. The run game is, at this point, down 3 scores. The run game is just not giving them enough yield right now. They need to get on the board before halftime.
Yeah, 3 straight passes for Torres. Gets some time, throwing on his back foot. Down the field, Jake Parpan. How about that answer back? 46 yards, Torres to Parpan. Touchdown, Plainedge. Parpan, the senior captain, not going down without a fight. Hauls it in on a beautiful pass from Torres.
And look at that pass protection from Ryan Heffernan. I mean, he's taken on McMillan right now and giving him everything he can. And that gives him the time to make this play, gives Parpan the time to get the separation that he needs. Great job of pass blocking by Ryan Heffernan.
11th touchdown of the year for Parpan. Just exactly what the doctor ordered for Plainedge. At least one half of the way, and then you got to get a stop on Wantagh on the other end. Westcott to Agavino, and Giancarlo Frucci off to the left. Into the PAT, no good, but Jake Parpan finding the back of the end zone. And, of course, you talk about high GPAs, National Honor Society with a 3.9. What's the class he got the A- in? That's what we got to ask.
No way it's Jim. No way, you know. Guy's in the band. The guy plays pickleball. Here's another golfer. Loves fishing. It's so nice to see the things that these kids are doing. They're active. They're expanding their minds and their experiences. You know, so many people ask me, you know, who aren't in teaching, how are the kids out there? Are they crazy? Like, no, they're great. They're great. And this Jake Parpan's another example of that.
We have to speak to the superintendent or whoever the grade advisor is and see. I'm not saying give him the 0.1. I'm just curious. I guess he is human after all. For me, my kryptonite was always mathematics.
Oh, boy, mathematics. I was just lucky enough to have great math teachers. My kryptonite was science. I always tell the kids at New Hyde Park High School, that's where I teach, that high school chemistry, I would rather have lemon juice poured in my eyes than take high school chemistry over again. It was awful.
See, I liked chemistry better than earth science because you actually got to, work in the lab. I don't care about shale or sedimentary rocks or anything
that was like the rocks and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, the rocks.
That's what we should have called it, the rocks and stuff. Well, that's exactly what Plainedge needed. Now looking for a stop. $1:51 to go. Onside kick. Frucci trying to get it. I don't know if it went the 10 yards, but a good job by Chris Romano to pounce on top of it regardless. And a short field for the Warriors.
It's dangerous play, and I actually think there may have been a flag. It should have been a flag there. You can't make contact with a player who's playing it inside that 10-yard zone. And that was very, very close. That's a safety rule. It's a point of interest. The hard part for these referees is they don't know it's coming, and sometimes it's not easy to see.
They're going to put some extra time on the clock, but here's the Warriors. It's been brewing, looking for their first county title since the 2020-21 spring season, looking for their first full season county title since 2016, but they fell in the final a couple of years ago. They were upset by 3-seeded Floral Park last year, who then lost to Southside in the final. And now in Conference 4, sitting pretty with a 14-point lead late stages of the first half.
This is a big series because Plainedge is going to be receiving the ball in the third quarter. They can stop Wantagh here, score, let's make a lot of assumptions, and score first in the second half. Then you've turned the narrative of this game around.
Canigliaro, the pitch to Dylan Martini, and he lumbers his way a little more than halfway home. Dylan Martini now on 7 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Kind of house money here for Wantagh. If they don't score, they could at least take the lead going into the half.
Yeah, I'm a little – they're not going slow, but I'm a little surprised that Wantagh is not speeding this up a little bit more.
John Gendels, Ryan Canigliaro to Cole Spinelli, Oliver Ikabazi, and Dylan Martini all find in the end zone. 2nd and 4, $1:14. Dylan Martini ranges wide, has a first down, and spun out of bounds, or spun towards the barrier, but clock should continue to run after the ball snapped. Another first down for Wantagh. Dylan fell at the tackle.
They're just so fast, these kids. You allow any of these boys to get to the edge, particularly Martini or Gendels. Over on the other side of the ball, obviously Feller, and, of course, Alec Anderson. You've got serious problems on defense. You got to keep them penned in.
48 seconds to go, first half. Canigliaro, back to pass. Pocket collapses, skips out of a few tacklers, and then is bottled up. Back at the line of scrimmage as Plainedge with the takedown. Keith Sachs calls a timeout as Sachs comes all the way out to midfield to call the play. I don't know if I've seen a coach come all the way out on a timeout. The Bowie 4 story. 6 childhood friends from Long Island, New York, who grew up together on and around the water have developed a special connection to the serenity that the water provides. That is where the Bowie 4 mantra was born. We choose the water. With every purchase made, they donate a portion of the proceeds to water conservation groups. Bowie 4 offers a full range of apparel and accessories for your team stores, corporate gear, and fundraising initiatives. All of our products are designed, created, and printed on site. Buoy up your wardrobe today. See you out on the open waters.
Going back to your comment before, John, Coach Sachs out to the hashes. Back in the old days when our hearts were still beating, Coach Sachs and I, you could find us at the 3-yard line. You could find us on the other person's sideline. We were very, very active guys. Now we kind of make it across to the middle. You know, it's the best we can do.
Well, you knew that he was jazzed up for this game and for this rematch for weeks to come, so still a little pep in the step for Keith Sachs, even though it's been pouring over the last hour and a half. Kevin, I'll have you put your coach's hat on. You mentioned off air that Keith Sachs likes to throw those flag football type plays. You think we see it again?
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I think you're going to see one of two things. We're going to see a big play by either Martini or Gendels, something a little different, or we're going to see a screen, middle screen, some sort of quick screen to the edge.
Well, on 2nd and 10, there's the pitch to John Gendels. And Gendels ranging wide. Kept in bounds, spun down. Jake Parpan with the tackle.
Great job by Wantagh keeping Gendels, not only tackling him, but keeping him in bounds and keeping this clock running.
They hurry back to the line, 20 seconds to go, first half. Canigliaro, back to pass. Moving, and denied. Canigliaro devoured in the backfield. Big stop, Nick Ippolito, the senior. Timeout with 9 seconds to go in the first half. Keith Sachs trying to find the back of the end zone. Get one more score.
9 seconds remain in the first half, and Wantagh calls timeout.
Moving the chains ain't easy, but moving your car is with Easy Auto Movers. Whether it's moving your car, boat, or any large vehicle, it doesn't have to be hard with Easy Auto Movers. Whether you're a snowbird heading south for the winter or opening up a new chapter in your life, let the team at Easy Auto Movers simplify the moving process. Shipping nationwide. Call today for a free quote, 516-464-0382, or visit easyautomovers.com.
John, I've been watching a lot of this active play from some of these big linemen, and right now I'm looking at Bobby Westcott. And a theme that keeps coming up over and over again is that they've got siblings, and everybody is a real strong emphasis in sport. And Bobby has a sister, Natalie. She's a softball pitcher at Queen's University of Charlotte down in North Carolina. It sounds like that's big-time softball. And I'm not surprised to see that, you know, a family that understands the value.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it as well on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. A career-focused you. A you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy. With special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum, Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
Bobby Westcott in the middle of that Plainedge huddle are coming out, and you were just alluding to it before the break. A 3.4 GPA. And, you know, how about this, too? We mentioned them being Renaissance men. Play stand-up bass for the orchestra. Slap at the bass, man.
Absolutely incredible.
Here's Ryan Canigliaro. Could be the last play of the first half. Steps up, heaves it down the field, and it's batted away. Flag is out with 4 seconds to go. And should be first and goal for Wantagh. They'll have a shot. Man in coverage was Dom Agavino and Dylan Fella. And we'll see who gets called for the PI.
Oh, my. That was some situation right there. Great little scheme. Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting, John. I mean, we're all so used to second-guessing the officials and busting their chops, and these guys do an incredible job, absolutely incredible job, hustling up and down the field, doing great things. But I wasn't sure if that was a PI, but you saw 2 flags come out right away. There was no hesitation.
Tom Sheehan calling for pass interference. That's against Tyler Gribben.
Now, unlike the pros in high school, pass interference is a 15-yard penalty. You know, in the pros, it's right where it happened. might be a little bit too far for a field goal attempt for Wantagh.
I think in this weather, too, it might just be a little bit more difficult. And so Wantagh is going to go for it, leading by 14, 4 seconds to go, first half. Ryan Canigliaro, 3 of 4 today. Looking to complete his fourth pass, spins it, end zone incomplete. As time expires, he overshot his target in Ikabazi. Man in coverage was Dom Agavino. With the exception of that blemish, it's been beautiful for Wantagh so far, but Plainedge knocking on the door, trying to come back in this one. And how about this? Jackson Torres scrambling, shaking, heaving. Jake Parpan is that man. Touchdown Plainedge, 27-13, Wantagh at the break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground at first. Wins up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter! And Division's moving on. Nassau County AA champions.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown Southside.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. A career-focused you. A you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy with special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum. Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
college flag football experience at the youth level like no other. Sign up as a team or as an individual player. Boys and girls divisions available. All players receive a jersey and shorts. New York locations include Massapequa, Half Hollow Hills, Oceanside, and Center Reach. Come and join the thrill at youthflagfootball.com.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs or call 516-403-2050.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the winter, but spots are limited. Contact us today for basketball, ice hockey, wrestling, and swimming by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground at first. Quinn's up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter! And division's moving on! Nassau County AA champions!
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside!
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. a career-focused you, a you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy with special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum. Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
A college flag football experience at the youth level like no other. Sign up as a team or as an individual player. Boys and girls divisions available. All players receive a jersey and shorts. New York locations include Massapequa, Half Hollow Hills, Oceanside, and Center Reach. Come and join the thrill at youthflagfootball.com.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs or call 516-403-2050.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the winter, but spots are limited. Contact us today for basketball, ice hockey, wrestling, and swimming by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Hofstra. A 27-13 lead for Wantagh. Fans trying to stay dry, trying to stay warm. It's been raining all evening here at James M. Stewart Stadium. It's also been raining some touchdowns too. Wantagh imposing their will against Plainedge, and they were sharing the wealth so far. And as we dive into the numbers, Coach Dolan, what sticks out to you?
Well, you know, it sticks out to me as you can see that the Wantagh offensive and defensive line are winning this game. You know, the stats are not so distinctive in terms of that, but watching this game, they really are dominating the line of scrimmage right now. And that's the only area that Plainedge is not playing well. Other than that, Plainedge's playing a good football team. They just need to get some more control of that line of scrimmage. And lastly, you know, is the Coach Dolan, where were you at?
Looking at the first downs here, too, controlling the line. Good rushing by Wantagh. Plainedge really hasn't found it because they're getting bullied.
And that's what I'm talking about here is, you know, is Plainedge is getting great drives and stuff like that. But what they're not doing is stopping Wantagh's big chunk plays. And they're just killing them with it. And Gendels is having one unbelievable night.
Yeah, John Gendels and Dylan Martini have been the two players to watch so far tonight offensively, as they have just imposed their will. In fact, they're almost even with each other at 80 yards on the ground apiece, and looking to capture a full season county title for Wantagh, and they're sitting pretty here at James M. Stewart Stadium. All right, so if you're Rob Shaver and in that huddle, in the locker room, and now as your team huddles to get ready for the start of the second half, what's the message? What'd you like? What does Plainedge have to change?
Well, the message is for them is it's the new half. It's the new game right here. We're in the second half, but they need to do that by coming out this series and putting some points on the board. And to be honest with you, I don't care if it's 6 or 3, but they need to set a statement and put some points on the board. I think one of the things that Plainedge needs to decide is if we're not, sometimes I can say all night long you got to start winning the line of scrimmage. That's not always easy to do. So I think Plainedge really needs to say we're going to throw the ball. And I think even though the weather is not really helpful tonight, doesn't seem to be hurting Jackson at all or his receivers, I think we're going to see a lot of passing this half.
Yeah, and that's what he's been dealing with all night has been the rain. It is continued to pour and has gotten stronger as the night has gone on. And the ball came off the tee for a little bit. Now it's got to get pushed up.
Wantagh is a funny group, too. You know, Wantagh needs to get to Jackson. They need to put pressure on them. But that's not something Wantagh really does. Wantagh on defense, they come out, they stay in it, they play in it, and we'll see. Let's see how this goes. I'm very, very excited.
Dom Agavino on the return. Gets pushed down at the 35-yard line, and Jackson Torres back out there under center. Well, you want to see him throw the ball a little bit more in this second half, and Torres in the first half, 8 of 11 for 114 yards, a touchdown, and an interception as a sophomore trying to lead a comeback against the Warriors.
Boy, Agavino has, not initially slated as a starter. He's been getting a lot of time in this game. This young man has really been all over the place. And what I'm impressed with Agavino is his physicality. Much tougher than his old man.
First play from scrimmage and bottled up and then dragged down Dimitris Vardamoskos. Vardamoskos was featured in the offense in the first half. A lot for Plainedge, he had 6 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, going back to what we were just talking about, John, I mean, that was just Andrew Perez on that tackle and body slam. Plainedge you have to run the ball. You know, I don't want to get crazy here. You're not going to throw the ball 35 times this half. You do have to run the ball, but that's not going to win the game. Tonight, on this particular night, the Wantagh front 7 is just too tough to run the ball consistently.
2nd and 10, Alec Anderson goes in motion. Then goes Fella. Torres to throw. Good protection, rolls out of it. Good coverage by Wantagh, and then Torres slings it. And just out of the reach of Tyler Gribben, who tried to make the diving stab.
Tough thing about plays like that, you know, you see Dylan Fella going in motion out of the backfield. Talk about smelling a rat. You know something's up. And for Jackson, that was really his only choice on that play. Wantagh, they're smart kids. They know a trick play. When they see it, I mean, they've got about 30 of them in their own playbook. They jumped all over that. But again, Jackson Torres, the sophomore, way to keep the play alive.
As this will lead to 3rd and long. Torres trying to move the chains. As Torres back to pass. Floats it way down the field towards Gribben. Can't make the catch. Incomplete. John Gendel's in coverage. And a 3 and out for Plainedge on their first series of the second half.
And I know that ended good for Wantagh, but they can't give Jackson Torres that much time to throw the ball. I mean, you had Jaden Camp and Ryan Heffernan bent over backwards, pass blocking these defensive rushes, doing a great job. But you cannot give this quarterback that much time. He's going to hurt you.
Torres to punt it away. Has some protection and then steps into it. Joe Nicholson was back to receive, backs off, and spotted right at the 30-yard line. And that's good enough for a 35-yard punt in this highfalutin Wantagh offense back out on the field.
Warriors first possession, second half will begin at their own 30. A winning 50-50 number this weekend.
In the first half for Wantagh, John Gendels from 48 yards had the first score of the night. Then Cole Spinelli, a 7-yard catch in the end zone from Ryan Canigliaro. Dylan Martini, a 47-yard run. Oliver Ikabazi, 48-yard catch and run. And now Canigliaro back out there for the Warriors. Nicholson goes in motion, straight give, Martini. And Dylan Martini, as a flag is out, gets pushed back at the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the plate.
Wait for the penalty, and it's a face mask called against the Red Devils.
Penalty is
Okay, it's a 5-yarder, so that's not the worst thing for Plainedge.
Gendel's stats in the first half. 5 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown.
And Wantagh will have a 1st and 5.
It's now 1st and 5. Ikabazi, the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. Ryan Canigliaro. Handoff. And Martini slicing up the middle. Long run, Dylan Martini. He can run for days as Dylan Martini to the end zone, touchdown. From 65 yards, Martini does it again. Touchdown, Warriors.
Whoa, John, this is becoming what we call in football coaches a track meet. Look at this play. Once again, it's the same suspects of McMillan and Wunderlich doing a great job of blocking down off the inside. Dylan Martini makes one cut, hits the gas, and he is gone.
He is one tough mutter.
Yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is. And as I said earlier, he's the holder right now. He catches. I'm sure he can throw. Probably clean your house for you.
Giacobello Drills it through. 34-13 Wantagh on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's premier high school sports network.
Wait. Oh my God.
Oh, hello, hi, how are you? All right. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, I'm Ron. Oh, what's going on? How you doing, sir? How you doing? I'm Ron. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? Oh, my God. I'm Ron, nice to meet you. Blaze right now is offering a large shareable pizza here with the real ingredients. Not frozen, none of that frozen crust, all right? Right. So I want to show you some beautiful, unique toppings that we have. Artichoke, arugula. Wow. You like that type of stuff? That's for you, all right? Oh, no, I'm Ron. I don't know who LeBron is. Me and you take a selfie. Come on in. Hey, that's Ron. You tell your friends to take you to Blaze Pizza and tell them Ron sent you, okay? All right, put it there. My guy. You even take Ron's hat. That's yours.
There were some people in the Wantagh community that felt that they were a few touchdowns better than Plainedge, and they're proving it tonight. 9:47 to go in the kickoff as it bounces near side, and Plainedge looking for a comeback. Chugging ahead on the return is Johnny Sinar, and Sinar gets it almost to the 45-yard line. Well, as if winning 4 NBA titles wasn't enough, LeBron James also owns multiple Blaze Pizza franchises. Want to eat like an NBA star? King James is rumored to add 16 different toppings to his pizza, and if that sounds like too much, you can choose from just a few of the 35 toppings. There's the Plainedge huddle, and Jackson Goronski trying to lead this Plainedge team back against Wantagh. And Wantagh just offenses clicking on all cylinders. Ball's on the carpet. Torres, ball still loose. Wantagh says they have it. But Tom Sheehan, the white hat, says nope, it's going to stay with the Warriors. Excuse me, stay with the Red Devils.
Well, this is the first sign tonight, John, that we're seeing maybe a little bit of effect of the weather. You know, it's not just the water on the ball. It's the water on your uniform and everything else can make things very, very dicey out there.
Yeah, that's unfortunately been the issue. And it's funny because we had, 27 of 28 days without rainfall in the New York metropolitan area, and then it's just been raining in buckets the last 2 days. In the pocket, Torres, he's just going to call his own number, then slings it, has a man incomplete, trying to hook up with Taylor Nitch, but Nitch just couldn't track it down.
You know, Plainedge catches Wantagh in man-to-man coverage. They ran everybody out of that side of the field, but that was a very odd mistake by Wantagh coming off of number 14, Taylor Nitch. Big opportunity lost by Plainedge on that.
They're down at 14, 3 minutes into the third quarter. The winner of this game will play Bayport Blue Point next week in the Long Island Championship. The way it works in New York State, at least on the Long Island side, that's the final game of the year. No state champion coming out of Long Island Public School. As the catch made by Jake Parpan. A couple of catches for Parpan, including that touchdown. As he gets a 10-yard catch reception.
What a timely tackle by Oliver Ikabazi. You know, Oliver steps up, makes that low tackle. Those screens are very, very dangerous plays. And what I mean by that is you have to make tackles in traffic. Very tough.
They're going for it on 4th and 6. Torres. Empty backfield. And looks at the sideline for a play and a timeout by Rob Shaver. Take a break with them as well. 8:13 to go. Third quarter, Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching live.
Keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
Artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
For fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Wantagh by 3 touchdowns over Plainedge as the Red Devils trying to mount a comeback. Jackson Torres back out on the field. 4th and 6, 8:13 to go, third quarter, and Plainedge just used their first timeout. Empty backfield. Torres, good protection by the Plainedge O-line. Swims out of it, flicks it, and it's caught. Taylor Nitch with the reception and a first down. This Plainedge offensive line has done a good job protecting Torres this year, and whether it's been on long passing plays or running plays, they've been there. Taking the car to college next semester? Let Easy Auto Movers help you. With nationwide shipping, visit easyautomovers.com for a free quote today. You know, when you've got a good offensive line, it's very easy to move the football.
You know, it's interesting, too. You know, you hear on the streets about some of these kids, like John Colvin, number 67. John is another kid, 3.7 average. You know, why is that important? Because when you have smart kids, you can change pass protections, you can change your blocking assignments. People are not jumping off sides. It's just so critical how the classroom and people like John's efforts in the classroom translate out here on the field.
Also gives you one less thing to worry about. You know, we see this in other parts of the state and the city in particular of trying to keep kids eligible. And these kids want to play at the next level, whether it's football, lacrosse, or different sports. And taking care of your grades can certainly open a lot of doors at the next level. As Torres with 7.5 to go. Hand off up the middle, and then the ball's loose. Wantagh has it. Another turnover by Plainedge, and the Warriors scoop up the loose ball. That weather just coming to an ugly head for Plainedge, and Wantagh jumps all over it.
Yeah, there it is on the ground. Just never got off the floor. You know, when you look at it from Ryan Heffernan's standpoint, he's there blocking Ray Romano at the nose guard spot, who's giving him all types of effort all night long, and shotgun snapping at the same time. Not easy to do. If somebody had asked me, has this rain affected the first half, I would have said not really. It's starting to come into play here in the second half.
It's going to be interesting how it affects the second game as well after this. One team that can throw the ball and another team that's just ground and pound. And there's Canigliaro, fresh set of downs, and gives it off to Dylan Martini. And then Martini corkscrewing his way up the middle and picks up 5.
Making his way through the middle to near the 40-yard line.
Well, you were just talking about Chris Romano before and how everybody loves Chris. Nickname is Ray, R-E-Y, instead of the R-A-Y. Winning a Pee Wee championship, but the way that he's playing today might have a new memory and might be a history major at the next juncture of his educational life.
Great job. And it says, I heard on the street that his favorite movie is Goodfellas, and we just saw it right over there. Why don't you, John, why don't you dance that football over to me, okay?
You're a funny guy, Kevin. You amuse me. Up the middle, big hit. John Gendel's leveled.
Yeah, he got leveled, but not until he moves the chains, and that's part of the death knell here for Plainedge. You know, they've got to get these guys to punt.
Down to 45.
This game, John, is still up for grabs. I mean, this game is not over yet.
No, but you're right. It does start with a punt and a fresh set of downs for Wantagh. They could eat as much time as possible, too. Plainedge showing blitz. And the handoff to Martini. And Martini picks up a pair.
I love occasionally talking about the staffs, and tonight poses two great defensive coordinators. You know, for Wantagh, you have Jim Morrow, and Jim and I started in 1989 in high school football. Jim was the head coach at Great Neck South for many, many years, and still a teacher over there. Left there to come over to Wantagh, and now he runs their defense. And this defense is just outstanding. For Plainedge, you have Adam Havorka. Worked for me at New Hyde Park. Just a real student of the game, Coach Havorka. And kids really enjoy playing for him.
2nd down and 8. Canigliaro the pitch. And Dylan Martini, wide open hole. Dylan Martini's going to do it again, and he could start to get ready for the LICs. He's warming up. Martini. Keith Sachs says he's been the best player that he's ever coached in his 36 years at the helm, and hard to disagree with him.
You know what? And again, Coach Sachs is the king of hyperbole, but I will say this. He is, I don't know if he's the best player Coach Sachs has ever had, but he's the best running back I've seen this year, by far. By far. He does it all. I said it earlier. Physical, finesse. He can catch the ball. He just does it all. And we're seeing an example of that tonight.
You talk about a senior that just wants to leave it all out on the field. Dylan Martini. 3 touchdowns in the county championship. Giacobello puts it through on the hold from Martini, and a good snap by Chris Romano. Well, Compass can help you find your next home. Contact Ed D'Ambrosio. His mission is helping everyone find their place in the world. We joked earlier, Martini's home is the end zone. Well, how about this house in Wantagh as well? New on the market. Contact Compass today. Let us help you find your next home. Contact Michael Matriciano, 516-282-4277.
Well, Wantagh's made this their home tonight, and you know they've kind of turned a little bit of that. I think they're on the way to turning that championship history around.
Dylan Martini, 12 carries, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. His longest run was for 65 yards. As Martini has shouldered the load and has been numero uno for the Warriors this year. Giacobello. And Plainedge makes the catch backpedaling. Johnny Sinar. And Sinar, good return past the 40-yard line.
Now, the Wantagh kids don't realize this because this is their season and they're just coming through. But Coach Sachs and his staff know Plainedge is not a team you mess around with here. You've got to continue. You're going to have to continue with your starters for quite a while. You're going to have to continue to bring pressure to bear. And you're going to have to continue to try not to allow Jackson Torres to get a level of comfort back there. Man-to-man coverage is a hard way to live your life if you're doing it for long.
Run on first down. As Dylan Fella picks up a yard. Torres in the first half, 8 of 11 for 114 yards, a touchdown and an INT. As Torres just, like you said, trying to get comfortable, and he's had protection, but good coverage by the secondary of Wantagh, which quite frankly hasn't been tested so much this year, especially against a quarterback of Torres' caliber.
And I think if it was a dry night, because Coach Shaver, Rob has a lot of stuff in his past playbook. He's not. People think they're a ground and pound team. That's not necessarily true. They do a lot of stuff in the air.
Torres does air it out and short hops pass intended for Jake Parpan. Incomplete. Cole Spinelli in coverage. It'll be 3rd and long.
And, in this kind of weather, it's not just the rain. It's very, very cold out there. In this kind of weather, it's not only hard to throw the ball, it hurts to catch the ball.
I think that's the other thing, too, that we really just don't understand watching from inside, and, of course, those of you watching from the comfort of your own home, is these players don't get to change into a dry shirt at halftime or take a shower or regroup. They get 15 minutes, and a lot of it is coaches yelling at you, and then you have to go back out there and execute. And so just a long and dreary night for Plainedge. Here's Torres. Torres throws it. Hit as he throws, and the pass incomplete, intended for Gribben, and batted away Dylan Martini.
And I think that's the kind of pressure that we're talking about. Wantagh, well, that was number 51. I think we've got a jersey change. It may be John Schiccioloni. But whoever that was, number 51, that's the kind of pressure we need to bring at this time.
Joe Valentino wearing number 51 for Wantagh.
Great tackle by Joe. You know what? And he did it right. He didn't draw any late hits or roughing the quarterback.
Torres, short dart. Nice one-handed catch. Dylan Fella makes it, but he's going to be short, and a turnover on downs. Plainedge can't convert, and this Wantagh defense stepping up once again.
Talk about smart football. Chris Perez just sniffs this thing out, and he's all over this screenplay. Chris has been around football for a long time. He's been playing with the youth league over there, and Wantagh, those guys do one great job since the 2nd grade. And I was talking to some folks on the street about one of his best football memories, and that was playing in one of the championship games at MetLife at the half of a Jets game. These are the things that people remember and help them to fall in love with the game and try to get a little better at it every day.
The give on 1st down, John Gendels picks up 6. But you're right about Andrew Perez. And you know what? How about this? Not a lot of criminal justice aspiring students afterwards. So, there's obviously, you've got John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York City. If he wants to leave New York, he has that as well. Possibly ROTC. That takes a special kind of human, and Keith Sachs and the rest of his teammates all rally behind Andrew Perez, otherwise known as AP.
Yeah, and you know what? As a police brat myself, my dad was on the Nassau Police Department for 43 years. You're proud when young people, especially capable people like Andrew, are considering a life in law enforcement.
The pitch on 2nd and 4. And charging ahead for Wantagh to move the chains was Joe Nicholson.
I tell you, Plainedge, not any lack of physicality in this game, but Wantagh just keeps coming back and back and back.
Fresh set of downs for Wantagh and the future Villanova Wildcat, Joe Nicholson. Of course, he'll be going to play lacrosse in Philadelphia at the next level, and Devin Pacione, 2 players that have played on this field before for a game of this magnitude. Talk about that later on, but Villanova getting 2 good ones in Pacione and Nicholson. 1st and 10 from the 31. Here's Martini, future Great Dane. He's been a great Warrior and playing in one of his greatest games of the season. Another chunk play, a pickup of 6.
John, it's so great to hear about all the great colleges and schools that these kids are going to. The education that they'll receive, with sports helping them do that, is just outstanding. They need to understand there's very few people out here that are going to make any money on playing college sports. And don't tell me about the NIL stuff. I mean, you guys put my face on varsity media and small children are running out of the living room.
That is not true. That is not true. Stop it.
There's really not a lot of people making money that way, and it's about your education.
Well, he's trying to torment the Big East for years to come. There's Martini. That's enough to move the chains. There's a tackle by Johnny Sinar.
You know, not only is Wantagh moving the chains here, which again is a signal of a little slow death for the Red Devils right now. Red Devils are fighting like crazy, but what they're also doing is they're bleeding this clock.
Could be one of the final plays of the third quarter. What has been all Wantagh in the Conference 4 final. Ryan Canigliaro to give instructions on the last play of the frame. Warriors from the 20, 1st and 10. Canigliaro, inside give. Gendels working hard, flag is out. First down, and a flag afterwards as well.
Correction, Gendels.
And so a 12-yard pickup. But then we'll see where it's spotted.
Be interested to see what this call is. It came from the field judge. That's the man furthest down the field. Usually calls pass interference.
Well, it was a face mask.
Oh, face mask.
Tom Sheehan, yeah.
Yep, saw it coming right down. Well, tough penalty for the Red Devils, you know. And for those of you at home that know, those face mask penalties, that's not about a kid playing dirty or anything like that. He's just reaching out, trying to get some contact with the running back, and unfortunately his hands come across the face mask.
It's been all Wantagh, 3 quarters in the books. Dylan Martini shaking, stirring his way into the end zone. 3 martinis too much for Plainedge. 41-13 Wantagh. Going to the 4th on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Solomon Thomas with the New York Jets, and you're watching Varsity Media.
A college flag football experience at the youth level like no other. Sign up as a team or as an individual player. Boys and girls divisions available. All players receive a jersey and shorts. New York locations include Massapequa, Half Hollow Hills, Oceanside, and Center Reach. Come and join the thrill at youthflagfootball.com.
Welcome back to James M. Stewart Stadium. It has been all Warriors tonight. Kevin Dolan, I'm John Perez, and the Warriors setting up in the red zone at the 6-yard line as Dylan Martini has scored 3 touchdowns tonight. And the Warriors looking to avenge their regular season loss against Plainedge earlier this year. The Red Devils besting Wantagh 33-27 back on October 10th. That was a weird week, too. That's right before the holidays, so the public schools playing on a Thursday, or some of them could have played a Friday. Most of them ended up playing on Thursday, so a short week. But after a full week of rest, Wantagh looks well rested and ready for the Long Island Championship.
And you're right, John. You know, I know the Wantagh crowd fairly well, and I knew that, you know, winning a county championship is no small thing. But if you could also avenge that loss, that was in the forefront of their minds.
Well, they're going to help with that. John Gendels, a touchdown. 47-13 Wantagh. Let's take another look, Coach.
Look at John. Look at how the Wantagh offensive line is displacing people. Again, you got Perez, you got McMillan, you've got Masari. They're just taking over the game right now. They've been winning that battle of the line of scrimmage all day. Now they own it.
Giacobello on for the extra point. Romano to Martini, and Giacobello puts it through. Wantagh leads by 35, 400 yards of offense for the Wantagh Warriors, who have made a habit of winning championships here at Hofstra. As we go back to last spring against Island Trees, there's Giacobello, just had the extra point, had a goal in that. And then let's see, Joe Nicholson, bang. And then, of course, Dylan Martini has to get in the action, right? 3 tutties today and a goal. Wantagh knocking off Island Trees en route to the 2024 Nassau County Championship.
You know, John, everybody's got, I've been doing the lacrosse battle my whole career, and every kid has to make, and family has to make their own decision. You know, am I going to play football as well or save myself for lacrosse? I don't really know what that means. But you just love when the kids come out and play both.
The Bowie 4 story, 6 childhood friends from Long Island, New York, who grew up together on and around the water, have developed a special connection to the serenity that the water provides, and that is where the Bowie 4 mantra was born: we choose the water. With every purchase made, they donate a portion of the proceeds to water conservation groups. Bowie 4 offers a full range of apparel, accessories for team stores, corporate gear, and fundraising initiatives. All our products are designed, created, and printed on site. Buoy up your wardrobe. See you out on the open waters.
And, you know, when you have those lacrosse kids who step out and they come out for football and they bring their athletic skills out in the field, you're just grateful for them. You're grateful for them, not for what you're doing for you as a coach, but for the whole program, for everybody. And I always have a tremendous amount of respect for those kids.
Giacobello, goal scorer, field goal kicker, and now places it on the other side of the field as Plainedge returns it at the 30-yard line. As the ball was brought down by Johnny Sinar. Jackson Goronski, a big part of this offense for Plainedge, and does well on both sides of the field. How about this? 8 broken bones in his body. He is a gamer, 98-point average. I guess he doesn't have to use pencils anymore if he broke some appendages.
You know, I was reading about that. All I could think about was Evel Knievel. I think, for those of you who don't know, he jumped the Grand Canyon. I think he broke every bone in his body. I hope Jackson is not trying to compete with that. But once again, Jackson's a really energetic guy out here. And look at that average, Coach. 98. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, luckily his skull was intact. That's not one of the bones that he broke. It's funny, you bring up Evel Knievel. I think of Homer Simpson jumping the Springfield Gorge. He didn't break any bones. On first down, here's the pitch. And it comes near side to Dylan Fella. And Fella picks up a yard.
Interesting thing also about Goronski, as I'm hearing this on the streets, he's a talented poker player. I am in no way condoning gambling. I'm sure they give all the candies and the jelly beans back to each other when the game is over. But cards is fun. It's fun, and it shows, it's a great way to socialize and be with other people, and it's no mistake why kids turn out the way they do.
It also tells me he can keep a secret. Has a good poker face. Heck of a football athlete. As there's Dylan Fella. And Fella bottled up. Andrew Perez, AP with the tackle. The A standing for Admiral, as he wants to move on to some of the academies at the next level.
Well, speaking of the academies, Dylan Fella, if we're giving out medals tonight, I would give him a medal. He's been hit by everything from Wantagh. He's been hit by everything but the bench. And he just keeps plugging away and plugging away. And, that's why he's the kind of athlete that we've been crowing about for the last couple of weeks.
Over 9 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Torres back to pass, airing it down the field, and it's caught. Jake Parpan threading the needle, and Parpan setting up after Jackson Torres throws a strike to Parpan at the 5-yard line, as that's good enough for a 67-yard connection.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. But, as we said earlier, when this offensive line, look at this. I mean, he could have had a cup of coffee back there. He had so much time. When this offensive line gives Jackson Torres that much time, this is what's going to happen. He's got too many weapons downfield. Beautiful play, beautiful throw, especially under these conditions.
There's a handoff to Dylan Fella, ranging wide. And Fella is stopped at least momentarily, and the play's blown dead.
Fell on that by Cole Spinelli. Also there, 28, Oliver Iakabazi. Second and goal.
It'll lead to second and goal. There's Cole Spinelli. Spinelli, big interception towards the end of the first half to stunt any rally for Plainedge.
Yeah. Going back to that last big play by Wantagh, I want to just chime in on Devin Pacchione. Touchdown saving tackle. I mean, there's just no giving up in this Wantagh team.
Torres off to Fella, play action, and it's caught. Touchdown, Tyler Gribben. Good ball fake by Torres. Hooks up with Gribben, and the Red Devils score. Tyler Gribben, a couple of nice catches in the first half, and gets rewarded with a touchdown.
Very nice play action pass right here. Not an RPO, it was a true play action pass. And, the pass got away from Jackson just a little bit, but what an effort by Tyler Gribben. Get his hands and arms under the ball. Well, it looks like Plainedge is going to go for 2 now instead of waiting for later.
Well, there's no tomorrow for Plainedge. And so here's Torres. They shift, pitch it around, niche, end zone. It's caught, and the 2-point conversion is good.
How did he catch that?
Jackson Torres threw a touchdown, hauls in the 2-point conversion. And what a play by Torres.
What a play. How did he get his arms underneath there?
Good.
Look at that. Torres, like an outfielder.
Well, we called him for a block. We called him for a catch right here. Obviously, he's throwing. He does it all.
Yes, he does do it all. A good dual sport athlete, of course, on the baseball side, on the varsity baseball side. This is what we saw last week. The Hail Mary, Alec Anderson with a touchdown, and then, of course, Coach, let's take it back to last spring against this Wantagh team. Painting corners as if he's an interior decorator as well. Struck him out swinging. Torres going 4+ innings against Wantagh.
Wow, what a facility over there at Plainedge. That is just beautiful. The Plainedge School District run by District Athletic Director T.J. Burke. And under his leadership and, of course, the community, they've done some great things with that facility.
Plainedge trying for the onside kick, and then Wantagh covers over it. This is where I'm going to have to ask for an explanation. The clock is still running with 5:09 and rolling, but it's not a 35-point lead. So I don't know, Coach, if it's once there is a 35-point lead, you're just going to run it regardless, or?
No, either somebody has screwed up badly up here or down there, or the coaches have agreed to run the clock.
Right.
And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you got to be an adult, you got to be an educator as a coach, and sometimes you look at your team and you got kids that are injured and everything else, and sometimes it's best to just get out of it.
Might be tough to concede in a county championship, though. Here's Ryan Canigliaro in the offense. And the pitch. As Dylan Martini ranging wide across midfield. And pushed out of bounds. With 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. And, of course, another player that we've been watching has been Luke Perfetti. And how about this? Beach workouts with the team is his favorite football memory, a finance major, and I'd have to imagine you like finance after watching The Great Gatsby.
Oh, yeah. That's the way to live, like The Great Gatsby, up on the North Shore up there. It's funny how many kids I've coached over the years who are 4- and 5-star lacrosse players, playing at Duke and playing at Penn State and Notre Dame, and they come back and all they talk about are the football memories, about things that happened in the weight room, team dinners, really does create great memories for them.
Hand off to the younger Martini, Luke Martini, ranging wide to the left, and Luke has a first down. As Keith Sachs starting to empty his bench, Carter Loftman now in at quarterback, as the Warriors getting ready for their matchup against Bayport Blue Point in the Long Island Championship, and Wantagh adding their name to some nice company over the last couple of years, and a repeat as well, as Wantagh will move that much closer to being the Conference 4 champions this year.
As I said earlier, John, I can't remember in the past enjoying Conference 4 football the way I have this year. Just the parity, the skill of the players, great coaching. I think Conference 4 football really has done a great job this year.
That was Evan Lyden on the carry. And so we know that the winner of Division 4 in Suffolk, Bayport Blue Point, with a big victory over Miller Place. Last time that we heard, Hills East was up big against East Islip. They'll play the winner of Mepham or Cary. In Division 3, Hills West against Sayville. They'll play the winner of either Garden City or Manhasset. And then Division 1, the winner of Massapequa Farmingdale takes on William Floyd against Ward Melville. .140 to go. Luke Martini. And Martini brought down. Gang tackle by T.J. Innes, the senior. Innes a pretty good story, too. 3.67 GPA, or a 94. Three-sport athlete, track and field, baseball. Playing for the Plainedge Bobcats. President of Best Buddies, which, if you don't know, a great charitable function for Plainedge. And Innes just an upstanding citizen as we enter the final minute of the Conference 4 final.
I'm looking at a list of the activities that this young man is involved in. How do you have the time?
It's a good scheduler.
Oh.
Here's Martini. And Luke Martini, play blown dead after the tackle by Joe Altamura. Wantagh is starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The team celebrating on their sideline. And that'll do it. The Wantagh Warriors are the 2024 Section 8 Conference 4 champions.
What a night. You know, that game, the score might be, the division between the two teams on the scoreboard is big, but that really is not an indication of how strong both of these teams are and what kind of a season they've had. As I've said every week, John, for the guys from Plainedge, for the Red Devils, they walk off this field disappointed. That I understand. They walk off this field angry about the season or things like that, then they're just wrong. What they've done is absolutely incredible, and they should be very proud of themselves.
So Wantagh starting to celebrate. They were led by Dylan Martini today. 14 carries, 224 yards, and 3 TDs. As he is our Mad Men Barbershop Player of the Game, specializing in traditional haircuts, hot shaves, and beard trims. Voted best barbershop on Long Island. You're invited this Thanksgiving Eve. Walk in only, walk out a gentleman. Mad Men and Company. Dylan Martini, a madman tonight.
Oh, he was a madman tonight. He's been a madman every night, but now on the big stage, he left no questions. You know, we came into this game with questions. What was this game going to look like? Oh, obviously, who was going to win it? All that kind of stuff. Dylan Martini said, you know what? Let me answer that for you. And along with a lot of help from the rest of the boys, Wantagh really played a great football game.
48-21 the final, one that this group of seniors will remember for years to come. Dylan Martini smiles all around after a hard effort. As Wantagh will play Bayport Blue Point in the Long Island Championship. We'll take a break and we'll speak to our player of the game when we come back. Wantagh, the champions of Conference 4. Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground at first. Quinn's up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter! And Division's moving on. Nassau County AA champions.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
What's next for you? A bolder, more engaged you. A career-focused you. A you that leads your community and helps change the world. Take the next step and get your bachelor's degree at Malloy. With special transfer programs and scholarships and a career-focused curriculum, Malloy makes a nationally ranked private university education attainable and your dream job possible. Malloy University. Welcome to the new you.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the winter, but spots are limited. Contact us today for basketball, ice hockey, wrestling, and swimming by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
A college flag football experience at the youth level like no other. Sign up as a team or as an individual player. Boys and girls divisions available. All players receive a jersey and shorts. New York locations include Massapequa, Half Hollow Hills, Oceanside, and Center Reach. Come and join the thrill at youthflagfootball.com.
Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Back here at Hofstra, Wantagh are the champions of Conference 4. They're going on to the Long Island Championship. Ben Turchin is down on the field with our players of the game.
Here on the field with the victorious Wantagh Warriors, Dylan Martini, John Gendels, and head coach Keith Sachs. Dylan, over 200 rushing yards today. What was working so well?
I mean, we're running tosses, stretches, up the middle. We were just blocking everything to perfection like we did in practice all week leading up to it. I couldn't be more proud of the guys in front of me. creating huge holes. I mean, it was fantastic. I'm so proud of them.
As great as you were today, you had a running back mate who had over 100 yards today, John. So if it wasn't Dylan, it was you today. By the way, Wantagh as an offense, over 400 yards today. How are you guys so successful?
I mean, we're just a hard-working team all year. We just have trust in our guys. We work this whole offseason, come to weight rooms every day, and we're a family, man. We just trust each other, and we do what we got to do. We do our job, and we get it done.
Keith, you guys lost a tough one in the regular season to Plainedge. I know it meant a lot for everybody to get this victory. How proud are you of all the boys and all the effort you saw today?
Yeah, no, for them to play to their potential is all we wanted. We knew it was us versus us all year. And for us and Plainedge to end up in the finals the way it's supposed to be, and it was just really nice that we came out on top this time. But playing two teams back-to-back after almost losing both those games, it was really impressive to watch the way they worked hard and made adjustments.
And by the way, all fall long on Long Island, the weather has been absolutely amazing, but it was football weather tonight. What was it like playing in the rain? Was that fun?
Oh, there's nothing better than this. Rain and cold, it's football season, it's football weather, it's the best. Playing in November, I mean, nothing beats it. Championship season.
Well, Keith, your guys must be hungry. Everybody on the team, courtesy of Blaze Fast Fire Pizza, is getting a free pizza tonight with locations in Hicksville by the Broadway Mall, in Bayshore, Fresh Meadow, Queens. Everybody getting crazy. You guys are all getting free pizza. Congratulations. John, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you very much, Ben, and congratulations to Wantagh, Dylan Martini, John Gendels, Keith Sachs, and the rest of the team getting free pizza courtesy of Blaze Pizza. How about that with a championship? But I know that they were talking about football weather, 400 yards of offense. Wantagh had a game plan. They came in and executed.
Yeah, and you know what? If this is football weather, it's called Wantagh weather. It didn't affect anything they were doing. And I think most of all, those are all great stats. What it really didn't affect for Wantagh is their can-do attitude. They just had the attitude and the body language tonight to get this done, and that's exactly what they did.
In 20 years, when they're sitting in the den telling their kids about this game, it was a 19-degree weather day with flooding in the area. But tonight, just the champions of Nassau County. They'll move on to the Long Island Championship. So that'll do it for our coverage. This is one of the most fun teams to be a part of, the varsity media team, led by executive producer Ben Turchin. Technical director is Chris Sweeney. Ron Pierre, Jeff Damo, and Kevin Catalanato braving the elements and giving you the moving images. For my partner, Kevin Dolan, this is John Perez saying so long from James M. Stewart Stadium. This has been a presentation of Section 8, Conference 4 football, on your home for New York high school sports, the Varsity Media Sports Network.